Is it just me, or does your 20s feel way lonelier than anyone warned you about? You're surrounded by people, at work, at school, online, and yet somehow, it still feels like no one really gets you. You scroll past happy posts, birthday dinners, vacations, your friends hanging out and laughing together, and you can't help but ask, am I the only one who feels like I'm slowly disappearing? I don't want this to be about just fixing loneliness, but I want it to be about understanding it and maybe feeling a little less alone in it. I realize that in your 20s, life shifts really quietly. One moment you're surrounded by your classmates, your dorm friends, your daily group chats, then suddenly everyone's gone. Not really in a dramatic way, just scattered. Some are married, some are living abroad, some are already working 9 to 5s. Some just kind of stop texting back. And you don't even notice it happening at first until it's just Friday night and your phone is dry. And you just kind of wonder why your social battery is so full while your calendar is kind of empty. I don't think it's really about like people stopped caring. It's just that everyone's trying to survive. Everyone's building something. And in the chaos of it all, like career, health, rent, maybe relationships, you just become the background character in a lot of people's lives. And that hurts, but it's real. Being in 20s kind of feels like this weird paradox. You're old enough to be expected to have it together, but at the same time, you're young enough to still be figuring things out. You scroll through your phone and see all these like 24-year-olds buying houses, getting married, landing dream jobs, while you're just kind of sitting there kind of figuring out what the dinner is. And that comparison kind of eats you alive because loneliness doesn't always come from actually being alone. It just comes from feeling behind. Like you're watching everyone move forward while you're kind of like stuck in slow motion. And you don't want to burden anyone with it, so you don't talk about it. So you just kind of smile. When people ask you, you say, I'm good, just busy. When you're actually just wanting connection, real and genuine, honest connection. And I noticed this a lot, but friendships in your 20s I think it becomes really fragile. Not because, people just randomly stopped caring, or it's not that anyone did anything wrong, but life kind of gets in the way. So it's hard to sync schedules, it's hard to make time when everyone's exhausted, and most of the time it's hard to keep trying when it just feels one-sided. You start wondering if you're hard to love, if you're easily replaceable, if people just outgrew you. But the truth is, we're all kind of feeling this. We're always kind of wondering if we're doing enough, if we're being enough, or, if we're meaning enough. We're all trying to adult while still clinging to that version of ourselves that used to maybe laugh until 3 a.m. with our friends. I realize that it's not just you. Friendships don't die, they just kind of evolve. And sometimes that evolution feels like loss. And that's how it is. But here's something that I wasn't really ready to hear when I needed it the most, is that growing hurts. It hurts especially when you're growing away from people. You start to realize that some of the people that you loved don't really know you anymore. And maybe they never did. Okay, maybe that's a bit too deep. I don't know. Maybe we could talk about that another time. But I think you just become more self-aware, more introspective, more picky with the people that you let in. And that's good, but I think it's just kind of isolating, It's like you crave deeper connections, but you don't really know where to find them. You kind of want to open up, but you're scared of being too much. You want to be seen, but not judged. So instead, you stay quiet. You convince yourself that you're fine, but deep down, you miss being known. Not just liked, known by people. And I think that's a big part of loneliness and how much it really hurts to grow. But even though I'm still in my 20s, almost mid-20s, there's something that I really want you to know, which is loneliness doesn't really mean that something is wrong with you. It's just a signal that we're all human, that we care, that we're wired for connections. And in your 20s, they're supposed to be messy. They're supposed to be transitional. They're supposed to be chaotic and mostly lonely. But they're also the years you find yourself, not who others want you to be, not who you were in high school, not who you pretended to be in college, just you. Loneliness is just part of that journey. I think it just teaches you how to sit with yourself, how to like your own company, how to build connections that aren't just convenient, but real and genuine. So no, you're not broken, you're not behind, you're just becoming to this version of yourself that you won't recognize maybe. Someone who will be able to look back on these days and courageously say, those were the good old days. Those were the days that I learned the most. So if you're feeling lonely, I just want to tell you that you're not alone in it. We're all carrying things that we don't post about. We're all trying to find our own people. We're all figuring it out, one awkward step at a time. So just be kind to yourself. Reach out to people if you want to. And just don't give up on this idea that somewhere out there will be people that will understand you deeply, genuinely. Let's just remind each other that this journey that we're in might be lonely at times, but it's never one we walk completely alone. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you're doing well wherever you are, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.